Hello everyone, my name is Zayo from Carnuba Detailing and welcome to the Carnuba Detailing YouTube channel. If you are interested in awesome automotive detailing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, the notification button, and if you have any questions at all, throw them in that comment section below and a professional detail will go ahead and answer them for you. Besides that, in today's video, we're going to go ahead and talk about Dr. Beasley's brand new NSP lineup of polishes. So these are ceramic infused types of polishes and compounds. They have a whole lineup of these starting from 45 all the way up to 150, heavy cut, medium cut, and also light cut. The awesome, interesting thing about these products is that they are a preparation stage, or a primer if you'd like to call it, and that's what Dr. Beasley's would like to refer to them as, for your ceramic coatings. Whether you're using a Dr. Beasley's lineup of ceramic or any other ceramic on the market, this stuff will go ahead and supposedly eliminate that prep stage between your polishing and the ceramic coating application with a paint prep or solvent remover or something like that. This stuff will help that ceramic bond to the surface that you are working on rather than interfering with it, because it contains absolutely no organic matter. Everything in here is inorganic, meant to help that ceramic coating bond properly to the surface you're working on, giving it better protection, longevity, and a better place to bond overall. So we're going to go ahead and test out its cutting and finishing ability and see how that ceramic application process goes on in a next video with Dr. Beasley's Nano Resin MX, or 5+ year nano resin coating. So if you want to check that video out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy the rest of the video.
Hello and welcome to Carnuba Detailing, your premium detailing experience. A professional detailing studio providing you, the consumer, enthusiasts, and professional detailers alike, high-quality detailing services, education, and content. If you enjoy connecting with industry leaders, how-tos and reviews, and business-oriented podcasts, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy.
Alright guys, so right behind me we have this beautiful 1971 Camaro Z28 that we're going to go ahead and perform a full 3-stage correction, meaning we're going to go ahead and compound, polish, and then finishing it off with a jeweling stage to really enhance the gloss and shine of this gorgeous black and blue paint. Now, in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and use that brand new NSP line from Dr. Beasley's that I mentioned earlier. We're going to go ahead and start with 105. This is their heavy cut surface primer. Alright, this is the stuff that's going to remove the heavy scratches, the heavy marring, water etching, bird poop etching, all that stuff. This is the stuff to go to. Alright, we're going to start off with 105. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to 95 from the NSP range. This is your medium cut polish primer. This is the stuff that you would maybe do a one-step with on a vehicle that isn't very heavily marred or scratched. This is great for that. And then we finish it off with NSP 45. This is your jeweling stage. Compare this to like Menzuna Super Finish or something like that. Has a very light abrasive, microsphere abrasive specifically, a very new technology from Dr. Beasley's to go ahead and go remove very, very light hazing and swirls and things of that nature, but really provide you that amazing gloss and depth and shine, and that's what jeweling polishes are really good at. Now remember guys, these are not just polishes and compounds, they're also referred to as primers. Reason being, they are priming the surface prior to your ceramic coating application. Each one of these products are leaving ceramic anchor points on the surface of the clear coat, so your ceramic coating can bond properly without the need of a prep solvent or a prep stage. So it completely eliminates that spray down or wipe down stage after your polishing. Obviously you need to wipe out the polish residue, but you do not need a prep solvent to go ahead and spray on the surface of your vehicle to prep it for your ceramic coating. Reason being, most of other polishes and compounds on the market have organic substances in them, waxes, oils, residues, things of that nature. And an inorganic substance like a ceramic coating cannot bond properly to those types of substances. Luckily, NSP doesn't have any organic substances. Everything in the NSP range is inorganic, meant to support a ceramic coating application, meaning this stuff will go ahead and increase your durability, increase the longevity of your coating, and also its gloss and shine. And that's not just for the nano resin line from Dr. Beasley's. it is any line of ceramic coating. You can go ahead and utilize this stuff to go ahead and enhance it later down the line as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start the compounding and polishing process. We're going to start with 150 from the NSP range. That's again our heavy cut compound. We're going to start on the vehicle, see if it hazes up a lot, see how many defects we're able to remove with it, kind of test out some pad combinations as well. I will give you a heads up, a lot of these polishes that we're using today are very pad dependent, so you're gonna have to test out a few pads here and there to go ahead and dictate what type of cut and what type of finish that you're gonna get. But overall, guys, in my experience, I've been having pretty good experiences with these polishes, so let's go ahead and jump into it and see for yourself how they go ahead and perform on this gorgeous 1971 Camaro Z28.
So let's go ahead and start out with the condition of the paint, guys and girls. Overall, the paint is not that bad. It's an 18-year-old repaint, so the condition that it's in is okay, but it still needs a lot of improvement, a lot of swirls, straight line marring and things like that from heavy wipe downs with crappy microfiber towels and dirty microfiber towels. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the surface of this vehicle. After that, guys, I go ahead and jump into 150 from the NSP range from Dr. Beasley's. Again, this is going to be their heavy cut compound, guys. I'm using the Lake Country Hybrid Wool and Foam pad. It's that purple pad you guys have seen before on the channel. I'm going to be using my Force Action Polisher, which is the Rupes Melee. And I'm using about medium pressure right now on this heavy cutting situation that we're in currently. I want to make sure I go ahead and remove a lot of marring and scratching that I see on the surface, but also keeping in mind that I want to preserve the clear coat to the best of my ability. One thing that I noticed about this polish overall, with the Force Action especially, it is pretty smooth underneath. The polisher does add that proper lubrication that I need with a Force Action machine, and it's even smoother with something like a DA. So whether you're using a Force Action, a rotary, or a dual action polisher, you're going to have a pretty smooth experience overall with this compound. Besides that, it doesn't have the longest runtime. We could talk a little bit about that later, but overall around 3 to 4 pass-throughs is kind of its limits, but we're going to go ahead and see the results in just a second. Wiping off 150 is actually pretty easy as well. You'll notice that it pretty much completely dissipates after you're done polishing and leaves just a very small amount of residue behind. And then these are kind of the results. Obviously, we have a little bit of hazing, not too much, very average with any other high-quality compound on the market. I find this very normal throughout all the compounds that I see nowadays. But as you can see, we have a major difference and a dramatic improvement when it comes to the heavy marring and defects. They've been, for the most part, removed from the surface. I also just want to show you an example of the consistency of these three polishes. Most of them are pretty thick and creamy, an exception for 9.5, which is the medium cut polish, which is a bit more liquidy, a bit more watery and runny compared to the other two. But overall, you don't need too much of these products on your pad after priming it. I would say just about 2 little drops, as you saw previously, is more than enough to go ahead and cover a 3x3, even a 4x4 section when you get into 9.5 and 4.5, because you do have a very long run time with the medium cut and the light cut jeweling polish from this lineup. I'm using 9.5 right now to go ahead and remove that haze with a Buff and Shine maroon pad, which is kind of on the medium to the heavy cut side of things. This pad combo is one of my favorites currently. I love using the maroon and the blueberry pad from Buff and Shine for things such as one-steps and things like that. But as you can see, just around 3 pass-throughs, I was able to go ahead and cut through that haziness from the compound itself, and then go ahead and finish it off to a nice, clean, polished out surface. As you can see, we do have a bit more residue from NSP 9.5, but it's same thing, very easy to go ahead and buff off to a nice, great shine. But as you can see, we're able to remove that haze and leave a nice quality finish behind. This is more than acceptable for a 2-step type of polishing and correction stage for a vehicle. We can go ahead and finish it off with the coating right now, but since it's a 3-step, we want to enhance that gloss and shine just a bit more and removes a little bit of more micro marring from the surface. As you can see, we're going to finish it off with NSP 4.5. We're going to go ahead and finish out our paint correction process with the NSP 45, which is their light cut primer or jeweling polish, whatever you'd like to refer to it as. I'm using the Blueberry Buff and Shine pad, which is kind of their medium cut pad. I still want to remove a little bit more of micro marring. You can go ahead and finish it off with something like a black finishing pad as well with NSP 45. That's also an option. But I just want to cut a little bit more, get rid of a little bit more of that micro marring. But overall, guys, same thing with NSP 45. A long, long run time. A joy to use overall underneath any type of polisher you're using, whether it's a force action or a dual action. And I'm mainly testing out with this force action because it's my go-to tool when it comes to paint corrections. And it's also one of the most difficult to go ahead and make happy overall. If you have a polish and pad combo that's super smooth on the force action machine, you're going to have something that's going to be super smooth on the DA or rotary or something like that. So I really like this polish overall. Easy to buff off, easy to utilize, long run time like I stated prior, and really, really adds a lot of depth and gloss to the surface that you just finished off. Now we're just going to go ahead and take a look at NSP 45. There you go, my friends. It is looking great. Just a little bit of polish residue behind, but again, you can go ahead and buff that off pretty easily. I use two types of microfiber towels. I use one for my compound and medium cut removal, and then also I use one soft towel, brand new towel for the finishing polish removal as well. As you can see, I'm just flipping to a new side on my orange towel, which is my finishing polish removal, just to get a little bit of that residue out of the way. But as you saw, I mean, it is an amazingly nice, shiny, glossy surface. We were able to remove about 85, maybe even 90% of defects right there. Crystal clear, looking great. Still a little bit of defects here and there, but compared to that before, guys, it is a massive difference. So I'm also going to show you guys a one-step with a maroon pad from Buff and Shine and NSP 95. I just want to show you an example of, do you actually need to go through all the time, all the effort, all the pads, all the product to go through a three-step correction, or are you going to be satisfied with something like a one-step? A lot of people underestimate the effectiveness of a one-step type of polish on a vehicle prior to coating or prior to sealant or something like that. You can get amazing results from just one type of pad and one type of quality polish combination on your painted surfaces overall, guys. We're going to go ahead and check out the results in just a second. We're going to be able to remove a lot of marring, a lot of scratches, and still leave behind a nice, glossy, deep finish on the surface of this Camaro. So you'll be extremely surprised in just a few moments of the results that we're able to get with NSP 95. All right, guys, so it's the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and buff off the excess residue from NSP 95. Again, I only did about 3 to 4 pass-throughs over here, medium pressure with my maroon Buff and Shine pad. We're going to go ahead and see how far did we cut, and also how did the finish turn out as well. We're looking for, with a one-step, we're trying to find a great balance between cut and finish as well. We want to make sure we don't haze the surface. And with the NSP 95 and that maroon pad, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how many defects we're able to remove from the surface. As you can see, we still have a few deeper ones here and there, but that's where 150 from the NSP range comes in. But look at that before and after. Look at that transformation, guys. So now the question is, for you, an enthusiast or DIY individual, is it worth it for you to go ahead and spend 3 times the money, 3 times the time, 3 times the products and things like that to go ahead and get that finish that we did with the 3-step correction? That is your answer to that question. It's not up to me. You decide, all right? But overall, we were able to get an amazing finish with just that one step from NSP 95. The last thing I want to show you guys before we jump back into the lobby and I'll give you my overview of the NSP range thus far is this right over here. What you're looking at right here, this finish that you're seeing, is one of my favorite combinations. The last cut, Sonax Perfect Finish, and then also Manzurna Super Finish Plus. Those 3 combined, that was the finish I was able to get over here. As you can see, nice depth, amazing gloss. We're able to remove most of those defects off of the surface. You can go ahead and check out the NSP 3-step and kind of compare and contrast on what you think between the two, and tell me what you think in the comment section below. How is NSP doing compared to what I think is one of the best combinations when it comes to compounds, polishes, and finishes?
Alright guys, so we went ahead and saw a bit of an overview on how these polishes, or should I say primers, perform on the surface of the Camaro over here. We saw the cut that we're able to achieve with 150 and also the finishing capabilities of 95 and 45. But we're going to go ahead and jump back into the lobby and kind of give you my overview of these three products over here. I'm not going to give you a final review just because I've only had these products for a few weeks now, tested them only on a handful of vehicles, about 5 or 6 when it comes to correction and then also coating application. So because they're compounds and polishes, there's so many variables, guys. We got pad selection, we got heat and temperature, we got different types of climates and humidity. So it's going to be really difficult to gain a full perspective on this whole lineup in a very short period of time. I will need a few months to really test this stuff out, a few more bottles as well, and then I will go ahead and follow up with you guys kind of with a final review. But let's go ahead and talk about my thoughts so far of the polishes, which are pretty positive overall. Let's go jump in the lobby and talk about it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start talking about the overview of these three products over here, starting with their heavy cut primer, which is NSP 150. Now overall guys, I've enjoyed this compound so far. The biggest thing that stands out for me when it comes to this product is runtime. It doesn't really have the greatest runtime out there, but that's not really a big deal for me, and I'll tell you why. Overall, I find myself only doing about 2 to 3 pass-throughs, sometimes 3 to 4 is kind of the limit that I find myself utilizing this product. But throughout those 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 pass-throughs, I'm getting the same cut or similar cut that I would be getting on other products on the market that would require 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 pass-throughs. So overall, that's a good thing for me. Even though you don't have a great amount of runtime, it kind of dissipates pretty quickly after those 3 pass-throughs on very small sections. Even though you don't have that runtime, it does cut really well during the 2 to 3 pass-throughs or 3 to 4 pass-throughs that you're utilizing it for. So you're saving clear coat and you're also minimizing the heat transfer from the pad and heating up the panel that you're working on, making sure to keep that paint safe over the long run. So again, even though it doesn't have the best runtime, it does have great cut throughout those very short amount of pass-throughs. Besides that, guys, it does dust a little bit, not really a big deal. It's very average compared to other stuff on the market, actually a little bit more on the minimal side, I find in my experience. But dusting is not necessarily a big deal for me, especially when it comes to compounds, and I'll tell you why. If a compound's not dusting for me, it kind of worries me a lot, because it's like, where is that clear coat and compound residue going? If it's not dusting out of the pad, it's telling me that it's going to be stuck in my pad. And overall, guys, if you're not cleaning out your pads throughout the process and stuff like that, you are going to mar the surface that you're working on. So because this dusts just a little bit, it's telling me, you know what, it's trying to clear out the pad for me. It's trying to clear out that residue the best it can, making sure that I don't have excessive amounts of clear coat removal residue inside my pad, remarring the surface that I'm working on. So take note of that as well, guys. Overall, dusting is not bad at all. It's not like you have to wash the car afterwards. I have seen compounds where literally after I'm done compounding or polishing, I have to go ahead and wash the car before I go ahead and prep it for a coating or something like that. Like that bad kind of dusting, you're not going to get that with that. Just a very light amount of dusting from this compound over here, a quick wipe down with a microfiber towel, you'll be set to go. Besides that, guys, hazing, it does leave a little bit of haze behind. It's not something like the last cut from Jason Price. That's a compound on the market that is really able to move heavier defects, but doesn't really leave too much haze depending on your pad combination. But this does leave a little bit of haze. But again, guys, with its cutting ability and the short amount of pass-throughs and time that you're using it, I find it super impressive, even with the haze that it does leave behind. And that haze is no big deal, because we're going to go ahead and move on to 9.5 from the NSP range, which is able to go ahead and completely remove that hazing very easily with only about 2 pass-throughs or so. But this is great, guys, for like a one-step. I've done about 4 or 5 vehicles so far with this polish over here when it comes to one-steps. And it performs great. As you guys saw on the panel over there on the Camaro, we're able to remove a lot of defects from the surface in maybe 3 to 4 pass-throughs that we performed it there, but it also leaves a great haze-free finish with a lot of gloss and shine as well. Overall, amazing runtime on this one. Not so much on this one, but on this one, amazing runtime. You could do 3, 4, 5, 6 pass-throughs with this solution, and you'll be perfectly fine. There's a lot of lubrication as well, which I really, really like, because I'm a big fan of force action machines such as the 3401 and then also the Rupes Miele. And people that do use force action machines, you do know that something as simple as lubrication from the polish or the type of pad you're using is completely going to benefit you or throw off the machine. So taking note of that, it performs really well with force actions, DAs, pretty much anything on the market, which I really, really enjoy. Again, big takeaways from this: amazing runtime, great lubrication, and also really, really good kind of cutting ability for swirl marks and things like that. You're not going to get deeper scratches out. That's what this is meant for, but it also finishes off very well with a haze-free finish, even with a heavier cutting pad like we saw from the Buff and Shine maroon pad. Moving on to Nano Surface Primer for 5. Now, overall, this is going to be their jeweling polish. I've only used this on a few vehicles because I'm not always doing 3-step corrections or anything like that. This is a very special vehicle for a customer. We're going to go ahead and apply Nano Resin MX to it after we're done polishing and compounding it out. It's been here for a few days now. I've just been kind of saving some time, trying to find the right time to go ahead and do a complete thorough correction on it, spot treat any areas with wet sandpaper if needed, and then move on with the coating stage as well. But overall, guys, I've had some really good experience with this too. Great gloss, great depth, great shine from this product. This is not meant to remove scratches and marring or anything like that. You will have some very light micro sphere abrasives like you do on all of these, so it's only meant to go ahead and finish off the surface you're working on. Maybe you get a new car, you just want to do a quick paint enhancement. This is a product for you if you do want to leave those anchor points of ceramic and titanium behind. But overall, guys, that's the biggest takeaway from these 3 products, is just the idea of leaving behind ceramic anchor points on the surface that you're working on for your ceramic coating.
So before I got rudely interrupted by an audio glitch in that last video file you're reviewing, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and finish off what I was trying to say. Like I said, guys, the biggest takeaway from all of this is how we're actually prepping the surface. These are primers. These are not just polishes and compounds, or getting the surface prepared to enhance your ceramic coating. You're going to be able to skip that prep stage with the solvent that we talked about earlier. But also, one thing that I really noticed about these types of solutions is that they actually feel a bit different than your regular polish. The surface that you're working on is a bit slicker, a bit smoother, and that's that ceramic that's being left over behind from the actual primers themselves, getting that surface ready for you for your coating application. And we're going to see this more and more throughout the detailing industry. We're going to be stepping away from the mentality of having to cut through scratches and things like that and remove clear coat, because we get less and less clear coat every single year. These new cars are coming out and the clear coat's getting cheaper and cheaper overall. So we got to find ways to enhance it without removing it. And that's only going to be done with some type of filler, some type of filling effect that we've seen with something like the NSP line. So the ceramic being left behind is going to go ahead and create that thickness to the ceramic coating as well, giving you a more fuller, deeper gloss and shine, and helping fill some of those scratches overall as well. But besides that, guys, I know a lot of information was tossed at you on this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to throw them in the comments section below. But overall, guys, great experience with the NSP line from Dr. Beasley's. Can't wait to try it out more, and I can't wait to have you guys try it out as well. Links are in the description below. Have a great one, guys, and thank you so much.